everybody. How
Good
are
morning.
you? Woo! I'm feeling some echoing. Are you?
Your voice went weird.
I know. I think maybe it might be possible that you have to wait a couple seconds for the intro to fade out completely because you always kind of have a time where you're kind of trying to find your footing right after that intro. So you never know. You
You
never
never.
know. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see you. It is Tuesday morning. Tuesday mornings are fun. Did you work out this morning yet?
I
No?
did.
You
I
did.
did.
You did. I did
That's
not.
why I look like this.
I did
No makeup.
not. Yesterday was leg day and it nearly took me out. Now I'm finding that you really actually need your legs the next day, and it's really difficult when you don't have them.
Yeah, it's good. I didn't get a chance to go yesterday, so
Oh,
I
okay.
went today. Usually I go on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but
Okay.
today's Tuesday, and I went today.
It is Tuesday,
And I went
absolutely.
in the morning.
You know,
Yeah.
I so when I did my New Year's resolutions, I love New Year's resolutions. I'm not one of those haters on the resolutions because I think everybody needs a New Year's resolution. Mine happened to be when I changed my life on June the 12th. So I love them. So this year I try to make some goals and I try to make some things, that I'm going to accomplish this year. And I had really been struggling in the whole working out era of my life. I had hurt my knee for a while and that really took me out. Then I hurt my elbow and I was just like, I was out of the loop. So I committed, to go 3 times a week. And I thought, I can do that. So I am okay taking Tuesdays and Thursdays off. And,
Yes.
if I've got something on that day, then I do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but 3 days a week. What is your goal?
My goal for working out.
Yeah, do you have one?
Yeah, well, I attempt to get at least 3 days in. I do strength stuff on Monday and Tuesday, or Monday and Wednesday usually,
Uh-huh.
with a light cardio, and then Friday I do hit, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, hit hits you.
Yeah. Did you know that that is the number one way that menopause, perimenopause women can lose weight is with HIIT
Ooh,
training?
I
It is
believe it.
not with cardio. It is not with massive workouts. It is with HIIT. That is the
Yeah,
best way to burn
it's got
fat.
a good mixture of both.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. Hey,
yeah.
guess what? Guess
But
what? Today, we think is our first day where we are launching our podcast. So we have been talking about this. We have been like debating over, is this a good thing? Is this not a good thing? And we just thought, we're here every Tuesday morning anyway.
yeah,
Why not? Why
why
not do
not?
a podcast?
Why not?
So yeah, it is like day one. And so we don't know what we're doing. We don't know how to do it. We don't, the whole technical stuff, but we are women. And if you are, I just spit. If
I,
you
I
are a woman, you understand. Yeah, let me wipe it off here. You understand what I mean when we say we can do anything we put our minds to do. So
Mhm.
that's what you and I think that's the genes that we got. It's called the Bonowitz gene.
Yes,
We both got it. So,
yes.
hey, welcome to the podcast today. We're going to call it a podcast anyway. Whether it turns into one or not, I don't know. But welcome. And we just want to know, we want you to know you're in a safe place. You're in a place that is a place that we have walked. I have so many things I could say about that, and I'm going to refrain because this is our first podcast. But you are in a safe place. We have walked exactly where you're walking, and the topics that we're going to cover, throughout the next upcoming seasons are topics that we have walked through. We never take a client where we have not walked. And so my name is Coach Monica. This is Coach Darcy. I personally have lost 120 pounds, and I did it using the ketogenic lifestyle. It took me a year to get 120 pounds off my body. In 2017, I was 250 pounds, and I was dying of high blood pressure. I was pre-diabetic, and literally, I was in an anxiety-ridden state. I was overcome with depression, and I realized that I had to change, but I didn't know how. And it wasn't until my son said, "Mom, do you want to go to Cedar Point with us and get on the roller coasters with us?" And I had to tell him no because I was too big for the rides. It wasn't until that moment that I forced myself to figure out what the heck I had been doing wrong on the dieting hamster wheel. my 25 plus years that I had been overweight. So that was my moment. Darcy, you have a story as well. Did you have a moment like that, or what was your story?
I had a big sister that hit me upside the head and said, "Hey, you need to do this." No, I'm just kidding. No, but really, I was 70 pounds overweight and lost that with the ketogenic lifestyle. And the thing that was that hooked me was Coach Monica. She was finding her footing, and I was trying to lose weight, doing it my way, and my way was not working. I lost 30 pounds beforehand, and then that one bite, that one inch by inch,
Oh yeah.
letting the lifestyle come back, creep in, and the habits take over again,
Mm-hmm.
came back, and I gained it all back. So then she was like, "Hey, this is really working for me. I really want you to try this out." And I was willing to do anything. So that was that willingness was in that drive and that Bonowitz gene that we have was the thing that, motivated me to be like, okay, I trust you with my life right now and I can see that this is working for you. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
and I think we lucked out in our journey because we were kind of pre-media uh,
Mhm.
onslaught. Because when the media got a hold of what this lifestyle was and why it was working, the ketogenic lifestyle, once they got a hold of it, they worked it
Yeah.
and they tweaked it into something that it's not, scaring everybody half to death. What blows me away is that people are scaring people. In fact, Brian had it happen at the gym this week. With his trainer saying, "Oh, I wouldn't do keto over 6 months." These people have literally no idea what they're talking about. This same person probably would support the weight loss shot that's killing half of our the
Yes.
women here,
Yes.
and paralyzing their stomachs. So we were kind of fortunate because that wasn't out there in the media yet.
Right.
See, the reason why we were onslaughted, everybody is onslaughted with the ketogenic lifestyle and saying this is going to kill you, is because this lifestyle, you do it and you don't have to do it again. The reason why the ketogenic lifestyle is uncool in the media is because it works and you don't need to do it again. You have taken that weight off for good. It doesn't come back because you've changed your lifestyle.
No.
Why they are pushing the shot right now is because they want dependent people. They want that money to keep flowing in. This is why Weight Watchers has changed their program, is because they know if they can get them hooked on big pharma, they will never go off it again. So we have an epidemic right now, and I say epidemic versus
It's epidemic.
pandemic because this shot is banned in other countries.
Yes.
Now, it's made in other countries. America is giving our money to these big pharma companies that it's banned where they make it, right? So
Yeah.
they know that if they can hook Americans into this drug in this cheating way, and yes, it is cheating because you're not changing your lifestyle, you're not changing things, and you can't. You physically can't because you can only eat 800 calories a day. So that's why that's cool right now, because they've got you for life. You can't go off of this drug. You literally can't go off of this drug. So you've got to designate about $1,300 a month for the rest of your life if you want to stay on this drug. That's why the ketogenic diet is so much made fun of and said, "Oh, that's not sustainable." Well, let me tell you, eating steak, butter, broccoli, all of the real whole foods, that is sustainable. What is not sustainable are drugs.
So
Right?
tell me on with all this knowledge that you have on, that you just shared, what would you say the benefits, the true benefits, are for this ketogenic lifestyle?
Ha, you are so good because you just went you just slid right into the basics of keto. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, calorie deficit is a calorie deficit. We have known this for all of these years where we've done the yo-yo dieting. Calorie deficit. You burn more than you take in. That is pretty common sense. That is science. That is a reality. That's why you and I are macro coaches, because we believe in that, the whole energy source. We believe in the metabolism. We believe in all of those things. However, what makes a ketogenic lifestyle different than any other diet, lifestyle in the world is its metabolic properties. There are so many people with underlying issues like PCOS, like type 2 diabetes, like high blood pressure. Like what are some more of those issues that we are facing with our clients every day? The metabolic issues of underlying the root cause of why you're overweight, right?
Thyroid, yeah, all those.
Thyroid issues,
Yes.
all of those issues.
Mhm.
That is a metabolic problem. The ketogenic lifestyle is a metabolic fix. So when our clients come to us within 3 months, they are pretty much off all of their medications with the help of their doctors.
Mhm.
They have reversed type 2 diabetes. I have had physicians sign off the client's charts based on, hey, you don't have type 2 diabetes anymore. Don't get me talking about our keto babies that have been born. Women who have come to us with PCOS who haven't
Mhm.
ovulated in 8 years, suddenly, when they fix their metabolic issues of PCOS, they are not only losing weight, but they're also ovulating again. This thing fixes the metabolic issues that is the underlying reason for obesity.
Yep.
Obesity is just a side effect, right?
Did you? Can I like slip some information I learned the other day about menopause and women?
Yeah.
Women have been getting into menopause at an earlier age than they should. It's unheard of that women start to have these hormonal mishaps at the age of 40 or even younger. That's like you should be going into menopause about the 50s. Like that's when when women start to get their hormones and they're working out and they haven't had anything taken out surgically.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that they can get their cycles back if they start to live this lifestyle?
Mm-hmm.
Which is they're like, oh, why would I want that? Well, listen, there's this balance of hormones that's very important in a woman's life. So
Yeah.
there is a reason why you would want it back.
Oh,
Yes, it's
yeah.
an inconvenience, but hey, listen, like your body is going to start working properly again.
Yeah.
So just wanted to throw that in there.
Not only that, Darcy, but also on the other side of the spectrum, girls are getting their periods at like
Oh,
age 10.
yes,
We've
younger
got
than
a
that.
we have a serious problem in our food cycle.
Yes.
I'm reading the most incredible book right now. I don't know if I have it because I go read something and then I leave it where I am, but it's
Yeah.
called the Dorito effect.
Oh,
My
yeah.
gosh, it is absolutely asinine what is happening to our. Did I just cuss?
No, you said asinine.
Okay. Whew. Sometimes my
It might have a
mother-in-law.
word in there, but so does
Okay.
assume.
Yeah, but it is a reality that the
Oh, thank you
girls.
for sharing that.
What?
You're very soft and I'm very loud. Let me turn it down. Let me see if
Monica's.
how's this better. Whoever said that,
Yeah.
is this better?
Okay.
Thank you
Monica's
for
mic is
sharing that.
really soft. Let me do some
Maybe
fixing.
you turn your volume up.
I'm
Just
gonna
touch
turn
your
my
volume
volume up. Okay.
on the front button.
All right. Tell me, did this get better? I might be turning it down. Do you turn it to the right? Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Right is go right.
Go right. Go right.
Let us know. Whoever said that,
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah. I
sharing.
understood
And
that. Thank you for. And of
please
course,
let us
just
know
so
if that
everyone
balanced
knows,
out.
I will keep really close to my mic. All right. So, anyway, girls are having their periods at 10 and 11 now versus what used to happen. It's because of the hormones. It's because of what's being put in our food. So, all of that said is,
Oh, good. We're better. We're
oh,
good.
we're better. Good. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You are so hired on our podcast.
Yes, we
Please
needed
be on
this.
the technical spot. All right. I don't know who we just hired, but we hired somebody.
Oh, you're you have a deep voice right now too.
Oh, I do. Okay.
Maybe you could like
Okay. We're in healthcare podcast. So, all of that to say, we may have to delete the first podcast that we've created, right?
oh, I think we can edit out.
We could edit. Yeah, I don't know how to edit.
This is
This person who's telling us about the sound probably could edit. Please edit that out.
yes, yes.
So, a lot of people say, keto to lose, paleo to maintain. And I have been living keto for 7 years, not because of the weight. I lost the weight. The weight has stayed off. I changed my lifestyle. And when we come back from our commercial, we're going to talk about a little bit about the other side of weight loss, which is addiction and that
Mhm.
line of thinking. However, I lost the weight with keto. I was going downtown one time. I was coming home from work and I was like, gosh, I lost the weight. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling sexy. I'm feeling like I got my life back. I could really go back to eating however I wanted, right? I mean, or even a healthier lifestyle. You know, I am very low. Oh
No,
gosh.
oh no, it's fine. It's fixed.
Okay, it's fixed. Okay.
Yeah. That was
Um,
Gary, by the way. Gary shared this.
Gary. Oh, thank you, Gary. You are so on
You're
my
awesome, Gary.
um, and I was sitting at a stoplight and I'm like, what would I add back? What would I add back? I have fixed my prediabetes. I have fixed my high blood pressure. I have lost the weight. What is wrong with my life? I am eating steak. I am eating whole foods. I am eating all of the yummy stuff. What the heck would I put back? I had already worked on my addiction. And when we come back from our commercial, we're going to talk about the reality and the most important ingredient in your weight loss journey. But the metabolic effects of the ketogenic lifestyle, we can coach any diet. You
Mhm.
and I, especially those people coming to us off of the GLP-1 who say, I don't want to gain the weight back. Will you please help me not gain the weight back? Those clients who come to us have a choice. We can give them whatever macros they want. We're going to tell them the benefits of the ketogenic lifestyle and those macros. But the fact of the matter is, a reverse diet is all about calories. And those people can keep the weight off if they go through the reverse diet and they do the process. However, the metabolic issues and the metabolic benefits of this lifestyle, or why we have reversed our type 2 diabetes. It's why we are off all medications. So of course we're going to cheer for that. The metabolic issues is the number one reasons why I still live this lifestyle. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about addiction and about this, how this is incorporated into this new lifestyle and how you can reverse a food addiction problem. Did you know 80% of people are addicted?
Yes,
Or
it's
say
sad.
addicted.
That's ridiculous.
This is why diets fail. So we'll be
Yeah.
back in just a couple seconds. We really do need help with some technology.
I think we're doing awesome. You know.
Do well. I'm glad. I'm
Well,
glad.
hey, can I introduce this one since you're like the expert in the food
Yes.
addiction world? But let me just define before we go into the food addiction part. There is two different, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong. There's two different pathways here. We can have emotional eating, where you can be addicted to kind of like depending on food for that, and then there's the food addiction world. So we're going to talk about like food addiction because you might hear and listen to this and say that doesn't sound like me. I don't have an addiction to food. But let me just tell you, the majority of the clients that we get in come to the realization that they're either one or the other. I was one of those that was in denial of like, well, I don't have an emotional eating problem. I don't go to food for my problems. That was completely wrong. As I like months into my journey, realizing, oh, actually, yeah, I do have a need for emotional support through food. It was like a band-aid. So, um, you know, over time, even with clients that we have over periods of time, we start to realize like, oh, they're having this repeat thing here going on, and we start to see we recognize these things in them that kind of spotlight like, oh, maybe they have some food addiction. So go into how do we recognize and address this, Monica?
Yeah. Let's talk about the treatment first. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna back into this conversation. So, what is the treatment for food addiction? The treatment is the same. If you are an emotional eater versus a chemically addicted food addict, okay, the treatment is the same. It is the order of treatment that changes. So,
Mm.
for our chemically addicted brains, okay, and this is officially diagnosed in the DSM-5 now. This is actually a thing now. Food addiction is real. There is if you do a PET scan on a brain, you can tell a food addict from a non-food addict. It's kind of like if you Google like what cocaine does to a brain, it looks the same. Sugar and cocaine look the same. Okay, and so your brain can be. It's called an addict brain. Those can be diagnosed. Okay, for that client, there is no moderation. There is zero moderation for a food addict if they're chemically addicted. And we call this a sugar addict. And when we say sugar, we mean carbs. Carbs and sugar have the same metabolic impact as each other. Okay, so carbs. So some people come to us and say, well, I don't like cookies, right? But they crave the salty, they crave the chips. Same thing. The carb impact and the glycemic index have the same impact to your body. So when I say sugar addict, I mean carb processed food addiction. Okay, so there is a diagnostical way of determining if you are a food addict. We have one on our website. If you go to our website at kmhealthcoaching.org, there is a test you can take. A screening process. It's called the sugar. Okay, so you can find out if you are one of those people. But let's say you are an emotional eater. Let's say that you get really stressed out, or you even have a happy reunion and you just want to eat. You know, you're out with your friends and you've got that emotional eating addiction. Okay, the treatment is the same. You may potentially be able to moderate those foods back in. However, what changes with the treatment of a food addict versus an emotional eater is the timing of therapy. I am a wholehearted promoter of mental health. If you lose over 50 pounds, it is in the protocol for all of my clients, go to mental health counseling, because let's process what just happened in your body. Because your mind has to catch up with your body. When your body releases 100 pounds, there is a lot of crap in there. There is a lot of junk in there that is uncovered as you lose the weight.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, therapy to both sides. However, I do not send my clients who are in my addiction program to therapy first, because a food addict has something called a red dog. Red dog sits on the shoulder, and the red dog speaks anything that will get him the drug, which is the food. Anything. He will say, you know what, just one bite won't hurt. You know what, if you just had this one time, you won't hurt your aunt who is sitting over there and just made that apple pie. You know what, you're not as bad as you think you are. Every addict has a red dog that sits on the shoulder and speaks to the addict brain. That red dog is very brilliant. He is conniving, he is deceiving. He will tell you exactly what you want to hear. And sometimes when you mix that with therapy, you have got a hot mess, because therapists will have talked into that red dog's brain and said, oh, intuitive eating, you're worth this. You're worth this. It's not going to hurt you if you drive through. We have watched clients crash going to therapy.
Yes.
It's a really, really sad thing. We had a client one time who lost over 100 pounds, went to therapy and lost it all because we went to intuitive eating. We went to the no tracking zone. We've had a client who said, I was told I didn't have to track my food. I was told I didn't have to do that. And when they were told that, they didn't track their food, and now the weight is raging back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with an emotional eater, we say, yes, you need therapy first, because you have to break those cycles of emotional eating. You've got to go through that. Now, the key to that is getting a therapist who will work with your nutritionist and will not counter what you're saying as a nutritionist, right?
Right.
So it's the timing of therapy. So food addiction is real. 80% of us have an addiction to food and to processed foods. And here's the other thing that is not talked about. And I'm going to toss this one over to you, and I'm watching your signals right now to see if I have to make up. But we also have another addiction. Not only are we chemically addicted to food, but we have an addiction to convenience. This is one that is almost even harder to break than putting down the donut.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that addiction on the convenience side.
Well, on the convenience side, we like to have the instant wish that we were back in our 16-year-old body desire. So when we have abused our body and have eaten how we wanted to, and we ate like our 16-year-old self until we're now, like we want to turn around and be able to be like, oh wait, you look in the mirror and then all of a sudden you are not somebody that you recognize. That was me the one time. I wanted to laser everything off and I wanted that instant gratification right away. So we are so used to having that want to instantly be strong and healthy. But we also have a new addiction to convenience where we are so overwhelmed in our schedules that we have no time to cook. We have no time to plan things. We have zero time for our
Care. Self-care.
self-care. I couldn't remember care. But self-care, we have zero time for any of that to recoup. So we instantly are like, oh, it's Monday and we have an overload of stuff this week. Oh, and then Tuesday also we have this and this and this. There's no time. So we go through the drive-through. We feed our children drive-through. So we get them accustomed to eating drive-through all the time. And then they realize that they don't like the taste of real food. They only like the stuff that's pre-made. So we are just absorbed into this convenience world. And so then when we get to a place in our life where all of a sudden our body's rejecting all the stuff that's happening that you've done to it, and you start to become depressed, you start to become having all these root ailments, then you want to have the instant gratification of like, I want to go backwards. So I'm going to go to what we've talked about, like the shots, the pills, the diets, the low carb, the no counting, I'm just going to go to the gym and work out. And that when you realize that the gym's not cutting it and not giving you the results, then you stop going to the gym. So all of these bad cycles, all these bad habits start to form over this world of convenience. And you know what happened? In the 1950s, when they made that first box of cake mix, Betty Crocker, you know what happened? They didn't think about what was going to happen along down the road when they were like, oh yeah, we want these women to be able to do other things and take care of themselves. So let's just have these things in a bag for them ready to go. Yeah. Cool. But then when they realized that things were not shelf stable, then they started adding the preservatives and the things like that to keep those things shelf stable. And the reason why I bring that up is because just like your Dorito effect in that whole addiction part, then these scientists got involved in saying, okay, well, now we can add these chemicals in these foods and that people are so conveniently not even looking at what the ingredients are. And we're going to put these addictive materials and synthetic crap in these foods, preservatives, that make people not be able to just have one bite. So that one bite turns into hundreds of bites and then continuingly to, oh my goodness. So I'm going to step off my soapbox.
We're breeding
it.
Who are addicted when they come out of the womb. They're addicted to all of these processed foods.
Yes.
And it is killing our society. It is literally killing our society. And then we wonder why we're to the point where these women literally are willing to vomit every day because that's the only way that they can lose weight.
Yeah.
They're willing to literally sell their souls to big pharma because that's the only thing that's going to take the body fat off.
Yep.
If you deal with the addiction, number one, if you find a metabolically healthy thing that is fixing type 2, you can reverse type 2 diabetes. And I believe type 2 diabetes in children is child abuse.
It is.
I'm sorry I said it, and I'm not sorry. There should be zero type 2 diabetes in children. This is a parent-given disease. There's no other way to put it. You don't get type 2 diabetes without the environment. If the children are living in the environment where they're getting type 2 diabetes, we are hurting our children, okay? And this is not talked about enough. This is not talked about enough because we live in a feel-good society. We don't want to hurt people's feelings because these moms are working so hard and they don't have time to feed their kids. They don't have time to go into the healthy world. So metabolically, you can choose a very, very healthy lifestyle. I spit again. like the ketogenic lifestyle. There's no arguing that this is absolutely a metabolically healing lifestyle. And then not only that, do you have to capture that, but you have to capture the freedom from convenience. Both, I don't have time to cook, and I got to get this body fat off of me fast. So,
Yeah.
those are the things that we really want to put on the table today and talk about. We will talk about the hard things. I don't care about ratings, honestly. I really don't care about ratings anymore. I don't care about people think of me. Do you care about what the people think of you? Because I'm taking you along this journey. And if you do, we may have a problem.
I tell these teenagers that I lead and the people around me that I'm to this
I
point
don't
where
care.
I don't care. I could probably have somebody cuss me out and tell me that I'm ugly and fat and all
Yeah.
this stuff, and I'm like, cool, thanks.
Yeah. I had somebody in my life, I won't go there, but I had somebody in my life who was very embarrassed of the way I talked about Octavia and the starvation diet that they brought to our clients. And because they had friends that sold this, coached this starvation diet, and she would back way off. Oh, we can't talk about that. I don't care. If it's hurting people, I'm going to talk about it. So that alone, the controversy should be a reason why you tune into our podcast every Tuesday morning. So if you are one of those people who are embarrassed about talking about the hard things, this might not be the show for
Here's
you.
the thing, though. Here's the thing. We want people to see the truth behind the things, and
Iron Curtain.
yeah, it is. It is the thing that people, even in churches, they don't want to talk about. They don't
No.
want to talk about the Book of Revelation. Like
Oh,
let's not get that in that part.
don't
But
get me on that
we're
soapbox.
very passionate about making sure that people know that
Yeah,
there is an out, there
there
is a
is.
foundation, there is a safety net, there is things other than shots and what
Yeah,
the big people like to
yeah,
tell you the only
yeah,
way is, and there's other ways, and that's how our ancestors used to
yeah.
eat, clean and healthy.
Yeah,
Boom.
but you gotta be willing to do the hard things. And
Yes.
so many people are not willing to do the hard things.
Right.
It was hard to lose 120 pounds, sister. It was so hard.
Yeah.
Would I do it again? I'm still living it. Yes, I would do it again.
Yep.
So be brave enough to do the hard things. If you are a listener of ours and you're like, gosh, I have a really crappy relationship with food, maybe it's time that you just kind of pull your bootstraps together, you get your crap together, and you say, okay, I'm willing to do the hard things. I'm going to be brave enough to do the hard things. That's why we coach. That is why we do 9 hours a day working with women and men who are literally struggling in the pit of obesity, of type 2 diabetes, and we wrestle them out of that pit.
Yeah.
That's why we coach. That's why we get up every morning. There is not a Monday morning. Monday mornings are my crazy coaching day. There's not a Monday morning that I lay my, or Monday evening that I lay my head down to the pillow and say, this is what I was created to do. And so that's what we're encouraging you to do. If you're struggling and if you are sick and tired of following this diet circle that our country has us trapped in, maybe it's time for you to take a pause and say, you know what, I'm going to do the hard things for a while. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to do scary, and I'm going to listen. I'm going to focus in taking back my health in the year 2024. So we are here every Tuesday morning, or whenever we air this podcast. This may be a Wednesday podcast because we may have to do some editing. So be flexible in that. But we are live on Facebook on Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have a topic that you want us to cover, there is no topic that we will not cover. We even go into politics once in a while.
We talk about
to.
dinosaurs too.
We did. Yeah. I don't remember that one.
I just made that up, but we would talk about
We
dinosaurs.
would. We would. Yeah. To be in the carnivore conversation. I don't know how we bring
Absolutely.
that in. Yeah. Yeah. You guys are all loved. And please know that you're not alone. You are not alone. When you are struggling in this thing called weight, and you're struggling in this thing called, I need to get this fat off of my body today, you're not alone. Coach Darcy and I were there. We
Yeah.
did it. But we decided we were going to do it right. We're
Mhm.
going to wake up every morning and we're going to make the choice to do it right. So message us. There's a QR code at the top of the screen in a podcast. We're going to put the link in the description. If you need us, please get us on the phone for a health consultation. Don't sign up for a program without talking to Coach Darcy or myself.
Right.
We both have pages on that website where you can find our own personal schedules. Darcy's is different than mine because she's raising some boys, so she's got her schedule there. I have my schedule. Please get us on the phone. Let's do a consultation before you decide what program that you want or what program you need, because you may need a different program than you want. And
Right.
so we like to talk to our folks first.
And please like, follow, and share.
Yes,
That'd
you
be
are so good at that. I
yeah.
always forget.
We need to always introduce that, saying, hey, like, follow, and share, because without you and you being able to spread the news onto your page and into your world, we would be hitting walls, and we do, because that's how algorithm works. So just
Yes.
like, follow, and share, and yeah, support us.
We
That'd be
will,
great.
we will see you next Tuesday at 11 a.m.